So in Dragon's Dogma 2, you're doing one thing, and that's running. It's like you're a track star. You have to go anywhere and everywhere you want to go in this game by foot. There's ox carts. You can ride the occasional griffin if you get lucky enough to not fall off and die. But Portcrystals are going to be the key to getting you around super fast and super easy. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get yourself a Portcrystal super early in the game so that you can use it to get around any location that you want to get to a whole lot faster. As well as I'm going to show you some locations on how to get Ferrystones. Ferrystones are the item that you're going to need to use in order to teleport from any Portcrystal that you've placed out in the world, and they're really invaluable. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you want to skip to a specific part of the video, then go ahead and check the chapter list down below. But let's get into it. So to start things off, you want to get straight out of jail, run out of jail, get yourself over to the first couple of cities and make your way to the main settlement of Vernworth. As soon as you pop off in Vernworth, you're going to be bombarded with a lot of quests that you're going to have to go ahead and get done. But you can slide by all these quests and start on this one as soon as you're ready. I would suggest you get a couple of levels on your belt before trying to attempt this quest. And if you're an archer, then this quest is going to be 10 times easier for you off the jump, but you do not have to be. Once you're set up pretty good in Vernworth, you want to head over to the North Vernworth Ox Cart Station. Here, you're going to see a house over to your right, and you're going to run up the stairs, run all the way to the back, and there's going to be a chest. In that chest, you're going to find the fluted bow. The fluted bow is a super early game bow that you can get, and it's going to be a lot better than the original bow that you're using as an archer. But you're not going to want to use this bow. You're going to want to give this bow to a specific NPC that's walking around in the city. The next location you're going to want to visit is going to be the town square. So right here in the merchant quarter, there is going to be a shop that's called the Roderick's Smithy. In front of the Roderick's Smithy, there is going to be an elf, and you're going to want to talk to him. He's looking to buy a bow, but he's curious about bows, but because of his heritage, he's not allowed to just go off and buy one straight out. So what you're going to do is you're going to give him the bow that you just received from the chest. If you have a different bow that you wish to give him, then that's fine too, but just be sure that you give him a bow that you're not trying to keep. Right after you give this man his bow, he's going to be extremely grateful to you, and he's going to ask you to train him on how to use it. The location that he's going to want his training at is over near the Trevor Mines, a little bit north from that location. If you haven't already been to the Trevor Mines, this is a location that has some pretty cool items that you're really going to need early on in the game, but I'm going to talk about those in a separate video. With that being said, once you go northwest a little bit from the Trevor Mines to the actual location where our mans is going to be waiting at, he is going to start his training, and you're just going to have to shoot some targets for him and help him out. But before we get over there to his location, let's talk about some things that you're going to want to check off first. If you run out of the city and you're not an archer vocation, your pawns are going to tell you about yourself. You're going to want to go back into the city, talk to the vocation guild, and go ahead and switch your vocation over to archer. You do not have to get to a high level in archer at all to finish this quest, and you won't even need the archer by the end of the quest line. You'll only need it just at the beginning so you can teach him literally how to shoot one arrow. So go ahead, go over to the vocation guild, switch over to the archer, but because you're going to be using the archer to get to this next location where he is at, you might want to go ahead and grab a couple of skills. Once you have switched to your new vocation and you started on your merry way, there's a couple of caves like the Headwater Cavern Cave and some other locations like the actual Trevor Mine that you can walk through, bust out the other side, and just walk over to where our mans is waiting. Once you get there, go ahead and shoot a couple of shots for him, but be careful. There are a lot of enemies on the road to getting here, and they can probably take your life. After you've helped your mans, go ahead and head back over into the city, rest at the inn at least one day, and then go ahead and go back to the Roderick's Smithy shop. Once again, our guy is going to be standing outside of Roderick's Smithy, and he's going to be extremely grateful for you helping him, and he's going to talk about taking his trial of archery. he needs to take his trial of archery in his own hometown, which is extremely far away, and he's actually going to give you the directions on how to get there. If you want to have a more smoother time in this area and you're interested into the Elven race, you might want to grab a pawn from the Rift that's able to speak Elvish. It's not necessary because he'll actually translate everything for you anyway, but if there's certain NPCs or things that you want to do while you're up there and he's not near you when you want to talk to other people, this will be an easy way for you to communicate with the elves. With that being said, make sure that you make your way all the way back over to his next location, but be careful because there is a Chimera out here and that thing is ready to take lives. Sneak past the Chimera, sneak past all the little ugly ogres and big boys that are trying to slap you up, and you'll finally make it to the Elven City. Once you make it to the Elven City, there'll be a couple of cutscenes to play out, and our guys is going to instantly ask us to help him save his sister. Apparently, the local ogre is trying to make moves on his sister, and he went and snatched her up. With that being said, if you do not get over there as quickly as humanly possible, she's probably not going to make it out, which could be a problem. So getting over to the cave that she's located is going to become a priority, and the sooner you get over there, the better. Take your best vocation. For me, I took the Mystic Spear Hand, and if you want to know how to get the Mystic Spear Hand, then stay tuned on the channel, smash that like button and sub so that you don't miss out on how to get that vocation video. But moving right along, make sure you got a strong vocation so that when you get into this cave, you can put bees, spears, and spiky things in the rear ends of all the enemies in here trying to get in your way, and let's go get his sister. You're going to get all the way to the place where the ogre is camped out, and at that point, our man's is going to have all the confidence in the world, and he's going to shoot a shot. Not at his sister, of course, because that would be kind of weird, but he's going to shoot a shot at the ogre. The ogre is going to drop his sister, and what you are supposed to do is you're supposed to run over there while his father and him distract the ogre. For my sake, I was a little bit too greedy. I walked over to the chest that was behind the ogre first, and the ogre realized what I was trying to do, and he immediately snatched up the sister and ran off. So we had to take the ogre's life. By the time we finished taking the ogre's life, everything was pretty much said and done. I had a decent team with me, and we pretty much made short work of the ogre, but you want to try to take out the ogre before the possibility of his sister being killed. I don't really know how much damage she's able to take. I mean, she was being thrown around like a rag doll the entire time, and he was picking her up, he was biting her face and all of that stuff, so I don't know how much she is able to take, but I wouldn't risk it. As soon as you're able to take the ogre out, the better, and then once you're finished, you're gonna leave out of this cave, and he's gonna pull up on you one more time and thank you for helping his sister. At that point in time, you're also going to be talked to by his father. His father is going to give you the long sought after Portcrystal and be extremely grateful for you helping their family. Now, if you're an archer, you're going to want to talk to this man anyway because he is actually the master teacher that you're looking for in order to really get good with the archer. And that right there is one of the quick and easiest ways to get yourself a Portcrystal and Dragon's Dogma 2. Now let's talk about a couple of Ferrystones that you're going to get that you can also buy, and another Portcrystal that you might be interested in. The Sphinx has a Portcrystal as well, and if you really was feeling froggy, you can actually go and get the Sphinx Portcrystal at level 1. You can run past all the enemies that are in the path to the Sphinx, so it doesn't necessarily matter on what vocation you have. And if you have the Thief vocation and you're using a little bit of stealth, it's super easy. I'm going to create an entire guide on how to find the Sphinx and how to solve her riddles. Another place we can get some very easy Ferrystones are back in Vernworth. In the Vernworth City, right outside of the Vocation Guild and the inn, you can actually go inside the inn, head up the stairs, climb the ladder, jump off the roof to the roof over here, climb into this little area awning right here, and you're gonna have 3 chests. The 3 chests are gonna have a bunch of super good items that you're gonna want to get early in the game, a fairy stone for you, And right here in the center is an extremely important item, a Seeker's Token. Now, if this is your first Seeker's Token, please do not forget that you got your Seeker's Token from this location. That is going to come in clutch and in very handy when you're doing the Sphinx quest. But without spoiling anything here, you're going to want to go and take that Seeker Token over to the guy in the Vocation Guild. If you give him a Seeker Token, he's going to give you yet another Ferrystone. So you're topped off with a whole bunch of early game Ferrystones and a Portcrystal right off in the beginning of the game. Now, if you got a little bit of money, which you probably should after helping out the elves over in the quest line from earlier, you can run over here to this shop, Filbert's Sundries. Filbert's Sundries is going to have another couple of Ferrystones that you can use, and I'm not necessarily sure if these respawn or not. I think in about a couple of days he probably restocks his shop, but for me, I was able to buy up the 2 that he had pretty early because I was using them to get back and forth from the Sphinx. If you like what we do here in the channel, make sure you smash that like button and sub to the channel so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guides, and everything like this for Dragon's Dogma 2. In the next video, I'm going to teach you how to get the Mystic Spear Hand. And not only that, I'm also going to show you exactly where to get the Sphinx, and let's get them riddles. I appreciate you guys sticking to the end of the video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. This is your boy M of MCSHD, but for now, I'm out of here.